So good morning. Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to have you here with us, to have you joining us online. This is the NHERI Summer Institute, and I'm Joanne Browning. I'm part of, you can see sort of my titles here, part of the NHERI NCO, which is the Network Coordination Office, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes, and also a leader for our ECO division, which is the Education and Community Outreach part of the NCO. I'm also the Dean of Engineering here at UTSA, and I've been here about 7 years. And so it's my pleasure to welcome you to San Antonio and to, if I can get this to move, let's try this. Ta-da! Welcome to San Antonio. We're so excited that you're here. So we've been living under a rock for the last 15 months, which I think probably many of you have had to do as well. Just recently, UTSA has allowed us to let people back on campus. You're one of the first groups here. Okay, so we had to really go in and negotiate and say how we were going to be safe and all the things we were going to do to make sure that you were taken care of while you were here, to make sure that we could have this in person. So that just means we're extra excited to have you with us. We're also very excited to have everyone online. Last year, so this is our 5th Summer Institute, but last year we did everything virtually. And so we saw that there was some benefit to that because we could have more people involved and tell more people about what we were doing. And so we're trying this year to get people in to be able to see the presentations and have at least a piece of our Summer Institute. Okay. So I just wanted to let you know a little bit about where you are, give you some bearings. So right now, of course, we are in downtown San Antonio, as you can see on the map here. And you flew in, probably if you flew in, to our airport, which is a little bit more in the upper right-hand quadrant of San Antonio. But this is actually our downtown campus, which is, well, first of all, very vacant right now because everyone's still working remotely. But it's also not our main campus. Our main campus is up on what we call the 1604 loop up here. Oh, there's my mouse. And that's where most everything happens. So we hope in the future someday you'll come back and visit us and pay us a visit on our main campus where you can see some of the other aspects of life at UTSA. We do have a brand new building in our engineering complex that has 17,000 square feet of makerspace. Our REU participants are going to come and be able to be in that later in the summer, and a brand new high bay as well. And so there may be opportunities for you to come back and visit us in the future. But let's focus on where we are today. So this is one of our lovely maps provided to us by UTSA. And first thing I'd like you to note is that this is not directionally pointing north. So north is actually here to the right, but it's to let you see our whole campus quadrangle here. And the star, of course, is where you are right now in the Durango building. Most of you, I believe, are staying across the street in the Doubletree. And so you're coming in the mornings and walking right up our back door into the Durango. We used to have a Starbucks right here, and well, there's still a Starbucks, but it's closed for COVID. So I'm sorry. Some of our COVID restrictions are that we're not allowed to have beverages that you serve on a as-come basis, and so that's why we don't have hot coffee for you this morning. But we do have some other beverages with caffeine in the back because that's important to me, and I'm sure some of you would also like to have caffeine during the day. And we'll be making sure that we replenish that throughout the day. There's also snacks and things like that that you can get a handle on. We have a few other buildings here downtown you can see, and then if you have a break time, you can walk out there, and another building that's sort of behind us. And then also downtown, if you see the large tower, the Tower of the Americas, it's called, we have another campus there. It's called the Institute for Texan Cultures, and it was part of the original Hemisphere's World's Fair in 1968. So it's kind of a fun thing. And if you walk downtown, you'll see some more construction. We're building a school for data science. And it's part of also, we have a National Security Collaboration Center there along this, what's called San Pedro Creek. And it's going to be a new river walk, but it's going to have more business elements around it. So everyone always asks, what's going on? What are they building? Now you'll know sort of what's going on there when you have a chance to see more of San Antonio. A little bit of housekeeping here for those that are with us in the room today. Very important, I want you to know where the emergency exits are. So again, we are in the Durango building. This is our room, the La Valita room. Out here is the Bill Miller Plaza. If we have an emergency, you'll need to go out the back of the room, out those back doors. You can go straight across out those back doors, which is going back towards your hotel, or you can do an immediate turnaround, and there's doors on either side here to get you out into the plaza, okay? As Robin mentioned, the bathrooms are over here in green. So you'd come out this door, take an immediate left, and behind the elevator are the bathrooms. So you can get a hold of those. Break areas, wherever you want. Please make yourself at home. If the door is open, go in if you need to make a call. Feel free to step outside anywhere you want. Please make yourself at home. We had up here the Wi-Fi access for a long time. If you have any trouble getting into the Wi-Fi, let us know. We want to make sure that you're able to do whatever you need during the day as well. And then just a little bit about weather here in Texas. So it often feels like Texas is a little bit removed and closer to the sun than the rest of the earth. And this has not been scientifically verified, but we're pretty sure that we do float out there somewhere. It is going to be hot today and tomorrow. I think it's only in the lower 90s, but it feels a lot hotter because we've had a ton of rain. I don't know if it's pretty green right now in San Antonio. And so it makes it humid. And so it's going to feel really bad. So please keep hydrated. If you end up walking downtown, make sure you take water with you and so on. It actually gets drier and hotter as we go into the rest of the year, but somehow it feels better. But some reason we always end up doing the Summer Institute in the middle of June. We think it's going to be nice, and it's just really hot. A few other things. If you're staying an extra day, or those of you online, if you want to come visit us sometime in San Antonio, we are, let's see if I can find us. We are where the red dot is. You can see that on the screen. That's our downtown campus. You can walk this direction, kind of going east, and you'll run across the Riverwalk. It kind of spurs throughout, and there's lots of places to access it. Places you might not want to walk, but you could take a short cab to. Might be, let me go back up. The Pearl Brewery, that's a historic area that's been restored. It's got lots of great shops, the museum and the Whitty Museum, if you're interested in museums. We also have World Heritage sites here, a number of missions. The Alamo is part of that. It's probably the least impressive, honestly, in terms of architecture. But if you are interested to see some of those other places, of course, there's SeaWorld, and Six Flags is right across from our main campus up over at 1604. So if you have a chance to explore, please do. Have fun. San Antonio is a great place to be. And then a little bit closer here, tonight, you can see where we are in our downtown campus. We are actually going to go have dinner with our user forum. And we're going to walk right here underneath the highway and go over to where this historic market square is. There's Mi Tierra over there. It's lovely. It's a lot of fun. And we'll have dinner there tonight with our user forum. We have a couple representatives with us and just a chance to network and socialize and relax at the end of the day. Okay. All right. And there it is. That's where we're going. Okay. So what are we going to do this morning? We're going to have some introductions. Do a little icebreaker, fun activity. I know you're excited about that. And then I'll spend a little bit of time going over what NHERI is, a very broad view on NHERI and our network coordination office. And then we'll also go over our schedule and review some of the goals and what we want you to get out of being part of the Summer Institute. Okay. All right. So to get started, let me just show you a few people here. First of all, of course, I've already introduced myself. Karina Vielma, whom you may have corresponded with at some point, is one of our ECO co-leaders. She's in the back of the room. Maybe you can wave. Those of you online, you'll get to see her a little later. She's also an assistant professor of engineering education here at UTSA. Julio Ramirez is the PI of our grant for the NCO. He's at Purdue University. Normally he'd be here with you, and that's another kind of oddness about this year's Summer Institute. We normally have a lot more people here for you to interact with and get to know, but because of COVID, we've been restricted on our size. So it's just you guys today. And then of course, Robin, who maybe many of you have talked to. Dr. Nelson is also one of our education specialists and a postdoc working with us through the NCO. grant and has really worked with everybody to put this together. So if anything you like here, please let her know. And we'll use all of your feedback to make it even better next year. And then Jill Larson, who's in the back of the room, she's my administrative manager and really always helps us keep things moving smoothly. Any questions you have, Jill can also help you out today. Okay, so the next thing we get to do is the icebreaker. This is going to be so much fun and we're right on time. So what I'm going to ask that we do here is we do have your groups already assigned. So we're going to ask you to kind of get together in your groups. Now, please, whatever makes you feel comfortable, wearing masks, you make sure that you feel comfortable about, how close you get to each other. They've made us put everyone in this arrangement today. But if you feel more comfortable at some point moving to the side so you can see people, whatever you want to do, we're supportive of, okay? So this is what we're going to do. You're going to divide into these groups. And then within your group, you're going to develop a list of things that every single person has in common in your group, okay? Now, there's a couple exceptions here. No body parts, okay? Everyone has ears, we know that. No clothing items. We hope everyone's wearing a shirt and shoes. Although I'm from Kentucky and some of those are optional. And then the group with the most things, everyone's going to get a prize, even online. We're going to have groups online as well, and we're going to have online prizes. So, Robin's going to split you up into groups. You're going to go into your groups and you're going to do the same thing. So we're going to come back and ask, how many did you have in common? And we'll have the winning team sort of list those off. Let me tell you what prizes we have here today, okay? So very exciting. Pieces from Texas. Queso, tacos, margaritas, Texas. So if you're thirsty, these look like TNT. It's actually hot sauce to take home with you. We have a bunch of Starbucks gift cards. So if there's nothing here that you don't like, that's fine. You can probably take a couple. We also have chocolates if you have a sweet tooth. These are Lindt chocolates. And little known fact, John Vanderlint, who's a member of our Network Independent Advisory Council, is actually related to the Lindts in some way. He told me that once, and I swear it's true. The stars at night are big and bright. Little sippy cup mug. I'm sure it's for cold beverages such as iced tea or hot beverages such as hot tea. Anybody know what song that comes from? Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, yeah. Sunglasses, very, very cookie cutters that are in this shape of Texas. And my personal favorite, a cowboy scented candle. But it actually smells good, I promise. So you get to choose what you want if you're a winner. And we have lots of things to win today and tomorrow. So, keep your eye on the prize. And if you get stuck with something later, you're like, oh, maybe you can bargain and trade with somebody if they take the one that you wanted. Okay, so I'm going to just get out of this really quick and put back up the groups. If I can find it, I think it's right here. Ta-da! Oops, let me get this out of the way. Try again. There's Robin. Hello, Robin. Wrong one. Let's go back. This one to there. A little clunky, but we'll make it work. Everyone see your groups? Alpha, beta, delta, gamma. All right, we're going to put alphas up here in this corner, betas over here in this corner, deltas in the back corner, and gammas in this back corner. Okay, alpha, beta, delta, gamma. And we're going to take a whopping 5 minutes for you to list as much as you can. I'll let you know when we have a minute left. Okay, I think Robin's going to handle, we have groups online, but she's going to be chatting with them to find out who their winners are. And we will get you your prizes, I promise. But let me just go around and ask the total number you have. So go ahead and count it up. And we're going to find out who the winning group is. And we'll ask you to share then all of the things you had in common. So how about the alpha group? How many things did you have in common? Who was your note taker? 20. Okay, that's a pretty good one though. I think donuts is good. 20. How about beta? 13. Well, Delta? 17. Oh, and Gamma. 12. Okay. Well, we know the alphas are the alpha. Oh, yes. Yay. Of course, applause. Please always ask for applause. I love that. Okay, alpha group, please get up, come to the table and choose what you want. And if you choose a, you know what, you can pick one thing and a gift card. I know, go ahead, smell it and decide if it's what you want.
It smells good, actually. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
It smells really good. Was to get the cowboy candle. HEB, the HEB has lots of them. They are. No, yeah. Good luck getting that through, you know, security. Yes, yes. It's just hot sauce. So yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The alcohol is scared. It's gonna take the cowboy.
Okay, we're while you're doing that, I will go ahead and put back up our groups. I hope that those of you online got to learn a little bit more about each other. And we had lots of winners. We're all winners. Okay. And let me make sure that I'm sharing the right thing here. Let's do that first. Share my screen. Let's do, try this, and then I may have to reshare. So give me a second here. Need some theme music or something. All right, we have a presenting here. I'm not sure if Robin, let me try again, a new share and make sure I've got the, there. I think that will work. Okay, and let's see if Robin comes in and gives me a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thank you, Robin. We're off for the rest of our morning session here. Okay. So now we get to the part that is you've all been waiting for. Just, you know, what is NHERI? What are we doing? I know you probably read a little bit about us online, but let me just make sure we level up. Everybody is on the same page. So first of all, you are now part of our NHERI community. By coming to the Summer Institute, you're one of us. Okay, so please consider yourself a part of our NHERI community. Now, the NCO, which is the Network Coordination Office, what we try to do is to lead this community and make sure that we are brought together in unique ways. And we do this through a number of elements. We provide the leadership, we help coordinate the different leadership groups within NHERI and the different experiences that we have, whether it's workshops or how we put together different resources. We work with our researchers. We ask them how things are going, make sure that we have good assessment and feedback loops. And we also create partnerships, international partnerships and domestic partnerships. And of course, we work with our facilities to make sure that everything is scheduled appropriately and people can get in to use the sites and the data is also accessible. And the other pieces we do, of course, is through education and through outreach, which is part of what we're doing here today with the Summer Institute. All of this brought together to increase the resilience of the civil infrastructure. You can see the main groups that we work with. And as noted earlier, we don't do fire, but we are very interested in helping to improve the resilience to coastal flooding, windstorms, tsunamis, and earthquakes. So just a little bit about each of those. I know everyone comes from different backgrounds. You're probably familiar, but again, let's level up to that. Coastal engineering, as defined by the national academies, is the application of skills, knowledge, expertise, and theory associated with purposeful engineering intervention in our coastal system. And as you know, we have a pretty broad coastal system. And because of the number of events that we've had over the years, the cost from not having better resiliency can get to be very extreme. So this graph is one you may be familiar with that shows the costs and the number of events per group of years. And you can see we've had spikes over the years, and certainly the number of events and the costs associated with them causes a great debt in the United States. And then if you look at our coastlines, the top graph shows the number of, or the return period for hurricane events along our coastline. This is focusing on the East Coast, and the bottom one shows for major events. Every 50 years or so, we're going to have a hurricane that affects our coastlines. Quite a bit of population there. Every 50 years, in these bottom ones with the red and the green and the yellow, we have a major hurricane that's going to impact these areas. And so it's something that we need to be helping to increase our resiliency so that we can recover quickly and to have a more robust infrastructure here in the United States. Wind engineering, this comes from AAWE, considers a lot of things, problems related to wind and associated water loads and penetrations for buildings and structures, societal impact of winds, hurricane and tornado risk assessment, cost benefit analysis, codes and standards, dispersion of urban and industrial pollution, wind energy, and urban aerodynamics. Whew, there's a lot there. And we engage with all of it. This came from Dr. Masters from the University of Florida, but we can think of it on a number of scales, from the synoptic to mesoscale to microscale levels. And as wind engineers, we can even target into some more precise terminology around weather and climate, the terrain and topography, and how that influences the type of loading that our structures will receive and our infrastructure will receive. We can look at the bluff body aerodynamics and the structural response to that type of the loading that occurs from that. And of course, the dynamic behavior of our structures as well. And then of course, with earthquake engineering, this came from Bob Reitherman through the ASCE press, has the purpose of mitigating the effects of seismic activity by developing procedures for the planning, analysis, and design of structures and facilities that are capable of resisting, to a pre-selected extent, I love the way we said that, within a given risk, the effects of earthquakes. And of course, here we can talk about soil structure interaction. We can talk about the foundation pieces, the actual structural design, and how it withstands different types of seismic loading, the mechanisms of loading itself and where they come from, or the effects of earthquakes underwater and how that leads to tsunamis and devastation along our coastlines as well. And so we have a number of facilities, and you're going to hear from the PIs at these facilities, and they're going to give you more details about each of their facilities. And you're also going to have a chance throughout the day today and tomorrow to sign up for times to ask individual questions. So if you have a particular proposal you want to work on or something that's really piqued your interest, you can have some private time with them as well. Generally, we would have them here with you and you could just catch them on a coffee break or something. But because of COVID, we're going to have to do it in a more remote setting. So for example, we have our tsunami wave basin at Oregon State University. We have two great wind facilities, Florida International University with their wall of wind, and University of Florida with their boundary layer wind tunnel. And all of these sites have multiple facilities at the site as well, right? And multiple ways to set up different boundary conditions and different types of loading conditions. The University of Washington is our rapid reconnaissance site. They have a lot of different equipment that can be used to go out after events and to collect data. Lehigh is a large-scale structural testing facility, does real-time dynamic testing and hybrid testing. UC Davis, we heard a little bit about this morning in introductions, the geotechnical centrifuges. UT Austin has mobile shakers, so you can go out in the field, shake the ground and take data from that. And UC San Diego has a very large, and just recently, actually, I think still in the middle of being upgraded, shake tables outside to build real scale structures and test them for their resilience to different loading. So all of these put together is what brings us to our NHERI Wheel, is what we ended up calling this. And you can see the ones that I've mentioned already around the outside here. The Florida International University, starting, I'm going to move away just for a second, starting here and moving around our wheel with Florida International, the University of Florida, Lehigh, UC San Diego, Davis, UT Austin, Oregon State, and the University of Washington. That is our NHERI community, and the NCO acts to help us make sure we're working together. Now, there's a couple others on here that I haven't mentioned yet, just as important. UC Berkeley is our SIM center, and so they have all kinds of tools for computational simulation that may be of use to you. UT Austin also has our cyber infrastructure known as Design Safe. And so when you want to get online and connect with us, you go to designsafe-ci.org. And they have some excellent data reuse tools there. And then we've just recently added UC Boulder into our group. They do extreme event reconnaissance coordination, but also a lot with social sciences. And there's a lot of resources there. And they have a wonderful summer institute as well, where they bring the whole community together to talk about social science issues. And so you'll have a chance to learn from them as well today. So the mission of NHERI, and NHERI, of course, is our natural hazards research infrastructure, is to enable research and educational advances that can contribute knowledge and innovation to improve the resilience of the civil infrastructure against earthquakes, tsunamis, windstorms, and storm surge. Our vision as the NCO is to be that focal point and leader for multi-hazards research community that's focused on mitigating the impact of these future earthquakes, windstorms, and related hazards. And you see a couple pictures here. We've done a lot of work in Miki City with the e-defense in Japan. We have a number of international partners that you can also see. Our impact publication, which is in your book, is also available online for download, shows some of the different types of research we've done with those over the years if you have interest. Now, how do you get access to the sites, you may wonder? Honestly, anybody can do research at these sites. Okay, if you have NSF funding, that makes it very easy. Other federal grants also very easy. But you can have, state agency funding, industry funding, and honestly, just talk to them about how you get access to the site. As the NCO, we help to schedule the sites, so you can get on and see our online scheduling tool and see who has work there at different times. And then you can think ahead to the proposal you're writing and thinking what might be the best time or best place for me to work. We also work with our community to put together a science plan. This is available on Design Safe. We're going to have a presentation on this later this morning, and so you'll have a chance to learn more about that. But we worked with a number of people through academies, through early career professionals, Lifeline infrastructure, NHERI investigators, practitioners, social scientists, to put together those research questions that we really feel as a community need to be answered. So it's a great resource to go to when you're thinking about an idea that you might want to do research on, to use in your proposals to say, hey, and this is recognized within our NHERI science plan as something that needs to be addressed. Now, as part of the ECO, the Education and Community Outreach, we have a committee that represents, as you can see all the faces here, people from all of our different sites. So you can see Florida International, UC Berkeley, Oregon State, and so on, UC Boulder. We also have folks up here in the top portion of this that are from our user forum that also are representatives on this committee. And Robin chairs this committee. This committee is the one that puts together our activities, our education and outreach activities. They're the ones that designed the Summer Institute. They're the ones that said, if I was back and trying to learn from the beginning, this is what I would want to hear. Or if I had been 5 or 6 years into as an assistant professor, I could still use help with this. And so they're the ones that really laid it all out here for you today. And we owe them a lot of thanks. So they also put together our REU program. So we have research experiences for undergraduate students at each of the sites this summer. And some of them are in person, a lot of them are online still, but in the past they've all been in person. And then of course the Summer Institute, which you're here with us today. And then there's other things, webinars, conference presentations, and so on that we put together. And this coming year, we're going to put together a graduate council. So those of you that are still graduate students, if you're interested in getting some leadership opportunities, we're going to have the availability of that anywhere in the US to bring in our graduate students and make it a more active part of NHERI. And so what did this ECO committee decide that they really want you to get out of this? Well, first of all, we want to build community. So as I said before, welcome to NHERI. You're in the NHERI community now. please contribute, give us your input, tell us what you think we should be doing, and do research with us. We really like that. But a big piece here is also building skills. And I heard a lot of you talk about, I'd like to learn more about writing proposals or different ways to write proposals or different ways to put things together. So we have crafted this Summer Institute to do that, to put you in teams, to give you information around the NHERI science plan, what kind of questions to ask, broader impacts. How do I make my research more impactful? That's a big part of writing proposals, right? Is getting that piece integrated into what you're doing. The sites, what do they have available to me? How do I go work with them? What would be a meaningful area to do that in? So you're going to gain strategies and knowledge from NSF. You're going to learn details of the experimental facilities and site resources, and you're going to get experience with educational outreach opportunities and guidance linked to proposal development while you're here. We want you to build knowledge. We want you to know about the NHERI resources and how to use them. And we want you to network. So when we put you in these teams, the idea is for you to learn about each other, about maybe another research area, because a lot of times when you do research on the boundaries of your discipline with another discipline, that's where you can make a really unique contribution. The agenda is available online, and we're going to step you through it each day, but just sort of as a general overview. We're starting, of course, this morning with the welcome and introduction. We're going to go right into our site panel next. So you'll get some videos from the sites on what they do, and then we'll have people live streaming that can answer questions that you might have. There'll be opportunities also for you to sign up for individual sessions for them, with them, I should say. And then we'll go into the NHERI science plan, an overview on that, what's in it so far, asking you some questions about what you think, what else we should be adding into there. And then over lunch, you guys will have a chance to network online. You're going to have a chance to see some of the more site presentations, and there'll be virtual office hours online for those of you that have joined us online. Right after lunch, we're going to get into the grant writing workshop. Joy Pauschke, our NSF program manager, will be joining us and giving us a great presentation. It's one of the highlights every year of our Summer Institute. And then we'll have some time, just a 15-minute break when you can then sign up for those virtual hours, the ones that are here in person today. So you'll have a chance to sign up with the different sites after Joy does her presentation. Then we'll get back together at 2:30, and that's when we'll have our NSF career panel. We have a number of people listed here who have received career awards in the past, and we've had a number of people, alums from our Summer Institute, who have received career awards after they attended here. And so it's a great time for you to ask questions. Some of these people are not necessarily civil engineers. They may be in different areas, but they have experience in writing the proposals as well. And that's why we want you to write down your questions so we can have them and be ready to answer those, to ask those so that they can be prepared to answer for you, and we can make that conversation a little smoother. And then at the end of the day, you're going to have a couple of hours to get in your groups. We're going to send you out to different rooms so you can really communicate with each other and start talking about what kind of proposals you would like to put together as a team. This is, again, a general overview type of what you're going to do, maybe a PowerPoint presentation at the end. You can go as deep or detailed as you possibly can, and we will have prizes for the best team at the end. Tonight, we're going to Mitiera. Those of you that are here with us, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have dinner there. It's a user forum event. So our user forum, we have the current chair, is Stephanie Smolligan, and the incoming chair, Mohammed Khosravi, will be with us in person, live at having dinner tonight at Mitiera. And then tomorrow when we come back, it's a busy day. We'll have a short presentation during breakfast on our technology transfer committee, which is also put together through the NCO. It's helping people to take whatever the research they've done, get it into codes, get it into other types of design aids, make meaningful impact with what we've learned through NHERI. And then we'll have a session that Karina's going to lead with Robin as well on the broader impacts and how you can design that into your proposals. You'll have a little bit more time then to work with your groups and to meet with NHERI personnel during the time. And then we'll come back and have your proposal presentations right before lunch. And then over lunch, we'll deliberate and have prizes and awards after lunch tomorrow with some concluding remarks. Okay. Now, each day at the end of the day, we're going to ask you to reflect. Okay, this is really, really important. We want you to think about and help to process every little bit that you've picked up while you've been here, while you've been a part of our group today. And that's the way that you're going to be able to take away something meaningful from this Summer Institute. We're not going to pick it up. We're not going to ask you to turn it in. But what did you take away from today? What kind of ideas did you generate? Write them down, because later you'll come back and say, what was that? I talked to somebody. I was interested in that. It seemed like a great idea at the time. Make sure you write it down today. And then put down some items you'd like to work on. Or if you have additional questions for us, you want to make sure you follow up with the next day. Okay. Please connect with us. Like I said, you're part of our community now. We have Facebook and Twitter. Please like us. Then also you can go to designsafe.org and or designsafe-ci.org. You can join up with the network, get access to all the different types of facilities they have there. You can get our monthly emails and the quarterly newsletters. And we have some podcasts available as well. So you might want to use those in your classes or to move it around your own network. Okay, one more set of prizes. And I'm 2 minutes over, but I think we're going to do it anyways. So I have some questions. There's a quiz. And whoever raises their hand first, and I can and answer it, can come up and grab another fabulous prize. So first of all, what is NHERI? Who wants to tell me? Oh, see in the middle here. Ten. We have 10. That's just such a fabulous answer. That's good enough. I would have taken natural hazards engineering research infrastructure. So perfect. Come grab a prize. Next, how many sites are there in the network? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, come on up. We do have 10. Now, you have 11 if you add in Converge, which is at UC Boulder. And so we do that too. So whether you say 10 or 11. Which natural hazards are the focus of the NHERI network? Oh, I saw that one first. Yes. Windstorms and search. Please come up, take a prize. And what is the NHERI science plan? Oh, yes.
It's a 5-year plan with directions on what is important and what will do.
Yeah, community questions that we put together. Very good. Please come up, grab a prize. I think I have one more. Yes. What are the goals of the Summer Institute? If you can give me one or two, I'd be happy. Oh, you've already got a prize. Let's go in the very back corner. Absolutely. Fabulous. Come get a prize. Learn about the sites, learn about network, become part of our community, learn about resources, and learn about proposal writing. Get some skills while you're here as well. Okay. So this is, again, the reflection that we're going to ask you to do. Please, as we're doing our transition into our next presentation, go ahead and jot down some notes on the notepad we left you there. What are your goals for this week? What will you do to help achieve those goals? And how will you know when you have reached your goals this week? So one more time, jot down, what are your goals? What are you going to do to achieve those goals? What actions do you need to take? And then how are you going to know at the end tomorrow that you actually achieved those goals? Okay. Little Riverwalk picture there for you. As we transition, please keep working on those questions. And thank you again for being here. I'm so excited.